Hi Chelsea fans, Chels Daft here, back with another video, and today is a 5-minute video, short, sweet, to the point, no point rambling, no point waffling. Let's get right to what we want to talk about. Frank Lampard's reacted to constant criticism this week, to a barrage of speculation, and you can't blame him. Let's get cracking. So let's just say this as we try to understand this whole this situation. We're removed from it. You know, we're not involved in the high pressure profile job in football management. We don't know what goes on inside football clubs, the intercog, if you will, of the professional football environment, because none of us have been inside there. All we can do is just make our comments based on what we see. What we've seen this week is Frank Lampard has been absolutely hammered. He's been hammered from all angles by the media, by press articles, by social media, by some of his own Chelsea fans saying they should be sacked. They're entitled to their opinion, not that we necessarily agree with it. And it's been a tough week. The performance against Leicester, he was the first person to come out, say it wasn't good enough, said it was poor, called the players out, as we've already said on this channel throughout the course of the week. And you could tell with Frank Lampard, it hurts, and it really hurts, because he's Chelsea through and through. He knows what it takes to get things right. And to suffer that sort of constant speculation this week about his position, about potential replacements, just about his future in general and the bad job that he's doing, it was going to come to a point and sort of come to a head. And it did today. And leading up to the press conference, one article in particular caught Frank Lampard's attention. And the article was written by Liam Twomley, the Chelsea correspondent for The Athletic. A comment that he made after the Leicester game, he sort of ripped apart the Chelsea performance, giving sort of diagrams of where people were going wrong and where we were caught out. Basically ripping apart the performance defensively, going forward, pointing out all the flaws of our performance, which, let's face it, we all sat and watched the game and we all knew what those flaws were. So Frank Lampard's had to sit and look through all that. And then one of the comments that he made was, "This now has the look of a broken team, a miserable squad, and a terminal decline." So you can imagine in the press conference this afternoon, when Liam Twomley takes to the stand on Zoom to ask Frank Lampard a question, Frank Lampard bit back, and you can hardly blame him, especially after a comment being made like that. Frank Lampard said to him, "To be fair, I think their confidence would be shot if they were to read some of the pieces you write at the minute. I read some of them, and some of the confirmation bias you always reflect on games with. It's almost like a social media pundit to try and get a reaction in a negative way. I read the pieces when we're doing well as well, and they didn't go both ways. So for a journalist to be objective would be a big start, because if the players do read it, I'd feel like that." And that's an important point. And he had no hesitation, Frank Lampard, in reacting to Liam Twomley and making his point clear. And you can't blame him. You really can't blame him. And the be-all and end-all of the situation currently is that Frank Lampard is still sitting in the job as a Chelsea manager at present. There's reports coming in from social media from all sorts of journalists around Europe stating that Chelsea are prepared to give Frank Lampard to the end of the season to sort things out. Other people are saying he's going to be sacked and there's a two-man shortlist, and it's all this nonsense. But as it stands at the moment, Frank Lampard is Chelsea manager, and he will pick and lead the team into the games against Luton and Wolves and Burnley and Tottenham coming up, dependent on results. One thing's for sure, and I've said it earlier, all this hurts Frank Lampard. He says he doesn't read social media, he doesn't read the speculation, but I'm sure, like everybody else, natural instinct is to have a bit of a read and to maybe take stock of the situation. Frank is a Chelsea supporter. It hurts him as much as it hurts us, and if there's anyone that's going to be determined to sort it out, it's going to be Frank. With Jody, with Joe Edwards, with everybody else to pull together and come out the other side. And I'm glad personally that it looks as though he's going to be given that chance, because I've said it before in other videos, he's never had to deal with this scenario as a manager to this point in his career. His 2.5-year managerial career, as bad as it is now, he's never had this situation to deal with. Let him learn from it, come out the other side and be a better manager for it. Hopefully the Chelsea squad will learn from this as well, come together more, fight for each other as they put these walls up and everybody else is the enemy, get their house sorted together, and then go forward and be better for it. I just wanted to do this little video today because I thought it was interesting. It was entertaining. You can't blame Frank Lampard. Again, it wasn't much about Luton coming up. There's probably going to be plenty of changes. Frank has said about that. And Fikayo Tomori has arrived in Milan, and that deal looks to be done. It's just a couple of things in addition to the Frank Lampard post-match interview, which tickled me, I have to say. And there's all this sort of reaction on social media. I can't believe he said this to a reporter. Frank Lampard's losing the plot. He isn't. He's just reacting to being battered for a week. If you like the video, drop a like on the video for me, then subscribe to the channel, but hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss when my videos come out. Let me know what you think about the video and anything I've been talking about in the comments section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. Have a look around the channel, subscribe, like. See you guys next time.